Hello everyone. We are starting chapter 6. Chapter 6, secondary activities. Okay, we've already done the primary activities. Now the secondary activities, they're types of economic activities. So economic activity means which help generate, which are the means of living for people. So in this chapter, chapter 6, it is chapter 6 of the book Human Geography. In this chapter, you will come to know about manufacturing, about industries, about the factors affecting industries. You'll know about you'll study in detail about some of the industries like iron and steel, cotton textiles. So by the end of the chapter, all this will be known to you in detail. So let's get started. In today's video, I'll just let you know about the factors. What I'll tell you the meaning of manufacturing, the meaning of secondary activity, and the factors which affect the location of an industry, or the reasons or the factors which influence the location of an industry so that the industry gets maximum profit. Secondary activities, book Human Geography. Now the meaning of secondary activity. Primary activity, you remember what is primary activity? When we are doing this chapter, keep that chapter also in mind so that it's more clear to you. So the meaning of secondary activity is that it adds value to the natural resources by transforming the raw material into valuable products. Now if you take for example, suppose there's a piece of ball of cotton. So that will not be of much value, but if that same ball of cotton, if that is processed and turned into a cloth, so it becomes costlier, value is added to it, so it becomes a valuable product. That transformation of the cotton ball into a cloth, that is included in secondary activity, and that is done by manufacturing. Now let's understand the meaning of manufacturing. Manufacturing literally means to make by hand. Okay, but in today's context or in the present times, it means the conversion of raw material into more useful and valuable article or product. Raw material means which is not untouched, which is not touched, and that is in the natural form, that is raw material. That is manufacturing. Now characteristics of manufacturing. Characteristics or features or the definition of manufacturing, you can say there is application of power. If you want to manufacture anything, that is done with the help of machines these days. Earlier it was only done with hand, now it's done with machines. So application of power to run the machines. There is mass production of identical products, because in the factories the same product is produced in numerous in a large number. So production of same products or things or output which are similar. Specialized labor, the labor working in the factories or industries is specialized in doing their task. They have specialized skills, and they do the same repeated work, so they have that is called specialized labor. That is another characteristics of manufacturing. Next is standardized commodity. Standardized commodities are made in manufacturing. Next topic is characteristics of modern large scale manufacturing. Large scale manufacturing. Large scale means the manufacturing or the production of goods. Manufacturing means production of goods or the conversion of the raw material into finished or valuable products. It has certain characteristics. This is specialization of skill is the first one. Specialization of skill means mass production involves production of large scale quantities of standardized parts by each worker performing only one task repeatedly. So in a factory, when a person is working, one person, suppose there is a factory of the assembly of a car. So one person will not get the wheel, and the same person will also not fit the engine and everything, the glass and all. It is done by different people. So it is that One person performs one type of task, so that task is repeated by the same person, that is specialized. So that person gets specialization in that skill which he is doing, in the work which he is doing, he gets the skill of that. That is specialization of skills. Second characteristic of modern large scale manufacturing is mechanization. Mechanization means using of gadgets, using of latest technology to accomplish task or to do task. Automation is the word used for advanced state of mechanization. Third characteristic of modern large scale manufacturing is technological innovation. Technological innovation means latest technology used. So when you're writing the answer, suppose a question comes, write down the characteristics of modern large scale manufacturing. You have to remember at least all the headings you should know. The fourth characteristic is organizational structure and stratification. Modern manufacturing is characterized by complex machines. Complex machines are used in the manufacturing. Then there is extreme specialization. Division of labor. Division of labor means one person, again the same thing, one person is not doing all the tasks. He is doing one type of task, another person will do another task, so they get specialized in their skill. Next is vast capital. Vast capital means a lot of fixed capital, working capital, that is money, machine, all that is required in a large scale manufacturing, and large scale manufacturing has very large organization which handles it. Next is uneven geographical distribution of industries. Uneven means remember, uneven means not equal. So in the world, if you have a look at the world, every part of the world is not industrially or technically or in the same way advanced. There are variations. Same way, if you look at our own country, every part of our country is not advanced. Some part is economically more developed, some is less developed, so that means uneven geographical distribution of industries. Industries are concentrated in regions that are rich in minerals. If you take example of India also, you will know that most of the industries of India are located, like iron and steel and all the basic industry is located in the Chota Nagpur plateau. Now Chota Nagpur plateau is that region of India comprising Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh and all, because that Chota Nagpur plateau is a storehouse of minerals of India. So that is why we have varied industries there. So the same way, the industries of the world are located in the regions which are rich in minerals. Manufacturing sites are much less conspicuous and concentrated on smaller areas than that of agriculture due to greater intensity of process. This line means that, see, if you have 1 acre of land and if you're doing cultivation out there, and on the other hand another person has 1 acre of land and that person has set up an industry. So when we compare both the people, the first one who's doing agriculture on the first acre of land, his output will be less as compared to the person who set up an industry on the same amount of land, because manufacturing sites, their output or their process is more intense, greater intensity is there. You understood? The same piece of land when it is used for agriculture produces less, or the production of agriculture is less, and on the same 1 acre of land, if you are putting up a factory or industry, the production is more. Now to maximize profit of an industry, if I'm setting up an industry, of course I will not set up an industry because I want to do time pass something. I'll set up an industry if I want to get profit. So how do I maximize my profit, or how do any industrialist maximizes his profit? That happens when we keep certain factors in mind. So there are several factors which influence industrial location. They are as follows. We'll discuss them. See, some of them are communication, raw material, transport, government policy, Do you think there are more factors which affect the location of any industry? You think for yourself. See, if you have to set up an industry, a cotton industry, you have a lot of money, you want to settle, you want to set up an industry, what will you keep in mind? You'll keep communication in mind, that you are able to communicate with the others, the raw material, transport, any other factor, or is it only just four? Yes, there are more factors which affect the location of an industry. See, market, raw material, labor, transport, source of energy, government policy, agglomeration, communication. Let's see each of them. Factors affecting location of industry. First is access to market. Access means the accessibility of market, or how easy is it for a person who set up the industry to move to the market or to sell the finished products which the person has produced in his factory. So market means people who have demand for the goods which have been made in the industry, and also have the ability to purchase. Means, suppose um, suppose I have a car automobile industry setup. I will set up my industry at such a place where which at such a place where I'll be able to transport, or to over the I've set up an automobile industry, so I'm producing cars, suppose. So I will set up the industry in such a way or in such an area that my finished products, that's the car, are sold, or they have a market where they can be sold. Otherwise, what's the use of me producing cars? The first factor which influences the location of any industry is access to market. The developed regions of Europe, that's UK, France, Germany, all these are developed regions of UK. Then we have North America, Japan, Australia, Southeast Asia. They provide large markets. They are global markets. They provide large markets. Anything which is produced in Germany, US, we people in India also buy that. So these are some of the regions of the world which have citizens who have large purchasing power. So they offer great market to the finished products of any industry. Second is access to raw material. Access to raw material means the ability to get the raw material. Now, if I have set up the industry, any industry, so for any industry to produce any finished product, it needs raw material. So that raw material should be easily available. Raw material used by industry should be cheap and easy to transport. Cheap means cheap, like it doesn't cost much then. So it's beneficial for the industrialist. Easy to transport, it should be easily transported. Industries like steel, iron and steel, sugar, cement industry, these industries mainly are always, they keep this factor in mind. They consider this a very important factor when they're setting up the industry. See, iron and steel needs iron ore, and iron ore is very heavy. So that raw material, if you're transporting that much heavy raw material, then the cost of transportation will increase. So that is why they set up the industry in such an area where iron ore is closely, which is uh, means they'll set up the iron and steel industry in such an area where iron and ore is locally available. So they don't have to transport it from a very long distance. Sugar, sugar mills are always set up near the sugar fields where sugar cane is available, because again this is heavy raw material. Same way cement. Then third factor which affects the location of industry is access to labor supply. Labor means people, skilled and semi-skilled laborers. So industries are located where there is availability of cheap and skilled labor. Next is access to sources of energy. Now, access to source of, why do we need energy in an industry? We need energy in an industry because in an industry we have the machines. Everything is not done by hand these days. So to run the machines, what do we need? We need source of energy. So industries are located at such places where there is source of energy. May it be hydroelectric power, thermal energy, whatever, nuclear energy, but there has to be a source of energy. Next is access to transportation and communication facilities. Now, if I'm an industrialist, for my industry to receive all the raw material and for my industry to transport or to take out all the finished product, transport should be well, transport should be good so that it's easily transported. Raw materials are imported, finished goods are exported. Next is government policy. Government policy means, see, government also has a very important role to play. Government, like suppose India's government is there, so some parts of India are industrially very advanced, some are industrially backward. So Indian government will always keep this in mind that they'll try to have a balanced economic growth in the whole country. So government policy also to for balanced economic development promotes various regions by setting up industries in a particular, so it makes such policies which will encourage people to set up industry in that area. So government policy also plays an important role in the location of an industry. Last is access to agglomeration economies. Many industries benefit from nearness to other leader industry. Agglomeration economies means a collection. Suppose, example, I'll just explain you. Suppose I have set up an iron and steel industry in the girls' school of RKC. Okay. If I have set up the iron and steel industry there, of course the transportation will be good of that area. Transportation will be good, communication will be good, market will be there, raw material will be there. So now other person wants to set up an industry. So if the person sets up the industry maybe in the south ground of RKC, so he'll have the benefit whatever the leader industry, that is my industry in the girls' school, that will be called leader industry. So because it's already set up there. So when that industry, whatever industry facilities that leader industry has will be taken also by the smaller industry which is set up later in the south ground. So access to agglomeration economies, so access or maybe access to other leader industries also always supports the other industries. So these are all the factors which affect the location of industries. In the next video, we'll do about the classification of industry. This was only about the factors which are affecting the location of any industry to maximize profit, and we also did the meaning of secondary activity and the meaning of manufacturing and the characteristics of large scale industry. Hope you understood. You can contact me if you don't understand anything. Okay, have a nice day.